Welcome to the Atmospheric Radiation Measurement User Facility Southern Great Plains site. Behind me is the Central Facility main building. This is where you would normally check in, but today you're just going to follow along with me. Now we're passing by the Electronics Repair Lab. This is where we repair instrumentation for not only the SGP, but the other observatories around the ARM facility. Behind me now, we're coming up on our broadband radiometer calibration facility. We calibrate them here and ship them out when it's time to replace them in the field. That way we can cut down on downtime of the radiometers being unplugged and plugged back in versus being shipped off for calibration and brought back. As we trek down a little bit, I'm going to pan back to the other side. You can see that across from the central facility, the electronics repair lab, and the calibration facility, there's open field. As we move south from the radiometer calibration facility, we have the Aerosol observing system. The new system is behind me now. It is co-located next to the old Aerosol observing system, which allows us guest instrument capability that can be co-located with ARM instruments. When we put this system in place, we co-located it with the ARM instruments that were in the old Aerosol observing system, so we could do some intercomparison study. In addition, behind me you can see that the new Aerosol observing system is expandable to house more ARM instruments or guest instruments if and when that need arises. We are coming back up on our central facility main building. Across from that is our balloon launching area. This is where ARM launches 4 balloons a day, 365 days a year. Behind me you can see the balloon launching station. This is our balloon cart where we fill and release the balloon from. As I pan around, you can see the MAW station. This is where the SON system will get its surface MET information. I'm going to continue to pan around where you can see where we keep our helium cylinders. We can use these helium for our balloon launching. We also have expanded the helium storage so that we can safely store helium for additional balloons that we launch or additional balloons for field campaigns that PIs are using. I'm going to continue pan around so you can see how close we are. This is the Central Facility main building again, and the main entrance to the Southern Great Plains site. We're going to continue on to the west of the Aerosol observing system. Behind me you can see the Eddy Covarient system. It's our E-core system. This system hangs out over a field so that it has the proper fetch for the measurement that it's representative of. We're continuing along our gravel road here. We are next coming up on the Raman Lidar system. We relocated this system from across from the central facility, south down next to our radars and next to our radar wind profiler. This has made the area behind me a popular place for field campaigns, particularly field campaigns with instruments that they are validating against the radar wind profiler, the Raman Lidar, or the Doppler Lidar. Continuing on, we are now coming up on the Raman Lidar system. The Doppler Lidar system you can see is on top of the Raman Lidar. This is an obvious co-location. We have the Raman Lidar system next to the radar wind profiler, which is next to our KAW band SACR. So I'm going to stop and do a quick pan. So coming down the road, first we have the Raman Lidar system, the radar wind profiler, the KAW band SACR, and the KASR radar. And behind that, you can see the optical trailer and the guest instrument facility. I'm going to pan back around and we'll continue walking down to the guest instrument facility. Okay, I am now between the KASR system, the guest instrument facility, and the optical trailer. I'm going to pan back. Currently on site, we have a mini MPL. This is a guest instrument that ARM is interested in seeing how it operates. So we have brought the system to SGP, and the mentor is currently evaluating how well the system works here. It's co-located with our ARM MPL, which is inside the guest instrument facility behind me. This facility will soon be replaced with a new guest instrument facility, which will have an expanded capability to house guest instruments and personnel associated with field campaigns. One of the best things about SGP is the ability to have guest instruments and to have PIs come on site. We host some large field campaigns, and one of the wonderful things about SGP is being able to house field campaign science teams. So science teams can come, they can meet every day at the central facility. Soon they will be able to meet in the guest instrument facility with its expanded capacity and plan out their day, discuss any safety concerns, and then operate their instruments at the central facility. We are walking away from the optical trailer and the guest instrument facility. The guest instrument facility we are upgrading this year. It will have a higher capacity to host guest instruments. It will also have a high bay door so that we can forklift larger instrumentation in. It will also have a more sturdy floor using concrete instead of the current floor, so we can hold a higher weight capacity of guest instruments. We're going to continue walking south from here. Behind me, you can see the 2-channel microwave radiometer. And as we continue, you'll see an array of instrumentation in our field here. This is where we have a wonderful test bed, where we have our instrumentation co-located with other radiometer instrumentation. And we have the ability for guest instruments, vendors, and others to bring instrumentation to test here against our standards. Past me on the road, if we go further down, you can access the area that we use for guest unmanned aerial systems. It's also where we prepare our CSAPR to go to field campaigns not at the SGP. Behind me is what we call the 50 pad. This is due to an instrument that was here many years ago. Today, we're preparing the CSAPR 2 for tracer. You can also see the hut that housed the tethered balloon system when it's here at the central facility. The building that you can see is where we will likely conduct our INP measurements when they begin here at SGP in the coming months. We're going to walk back from the instrument field towards the central facility and talk about random things at SGP. The ARM Southern Great Plains site has been operating since 1992. The Raman Lidar system was one of the first systems installed here at SGP. It is the longest continually operating Raman Lidar system. We did cease operations a few years back and upgrade the system, and we co-located it. We better co-located it with systems that we have here at SGP. It is currently sitting with the Doppler Lidar system, the radar wind profiler next to the Kaiser and the KAW band SACR. That area has been very popular in recent years with validating unmanned aerial systems. So this was something that NOAA, for their EPIC campaign, brought multiple unmanned aerial systems and particularly wanted to co-locate with the Raman Lidar and Doppler Lidar. Thank you for joining me for the walking tour of the Southern Great Plains site. I hope it gives you a better feel for what the site looks like and how it's laid out. One day I hope you can join us for an in-person tour. We would be very happy to host you.